Goal setting is probably one of the most underappreciated and overlooked aspects of behavioural change. And when we're talking about behavioural change, I mean in the context of you achieving your fitness goals. You know, whether you want to lose body fat, increase muscle, or whatever your fitness goal is, essentially what you're trying to do is implement some new behaviours and get rid of some old ones. A lot harder than it sounds. You know, if it was easy, everybody would do it. Okay, so let's just add a little bit of context before we get into the meat and bones of things. Up and down the country, you go into any gym, people always have a it's quite a clear goal. They have a goal of like losing weight. You know, that's fairly clear, isn't it, to be fair? But it's massive. It ain't that specific, and they've no idea really how they're going to get there. It's kind of like, I want to lose weight, I'm going to join the gym, and I'm going to stop eating shit. Easy. And then they'll go to the gym, and it's like, well, I'm just going to do a bit of everything. Do 2 spinning classes, do a circuit class, do some sit-ups, run on the treadmill for ages, and I'm just going to eat nothing. I'm just going to eat salad. Now, they want, in my experience, most people, they'll be reluctant to jump on the scales. They'll be reluctant to take pictures. They'll be reluctant to check the body fat. Quite often people will turn around and they'll say, look, I do not need to get on a set of scales to know that I'm fat. You know, I don't need to know my body fat. I know I've got too much. And there's an element of like shame in there, you know, which I get. I do get. However, this like vagueness, it ain't doing you any favours, because you don't know where you're starting from for a start, and there's no real way of measuring or quantifying the progress that you're taking towards achieving your goals. So, like I say, up and down the country, people will join the gym, they'll start off doing loads and loads and loads, too much, an excessive amount of exercise, and they'll be like, it's hard to see the progress. You know, they'll be checking the clothes like, have I lost a bit? Feel like I have, not too sure. And then eventually things just kind of peter out. You know, they eat a little bit of shit because their diet was unsustainable, and then they're off the rails, and then they don't go to the gym for 6 months. And it's not, you don't obviously want to be in that position. I don't want you to be in that position if you're here and we're trying to achieve you know, physical transformation, behavioural change that's going to give you a lot, like long-lasting change, something you're going to stick to. So it's really important, first of all, you understand why we do things that really don't serve us don't serve us well. So you've got like a goal, an action is rational, or a behaviour is rational if it ties in with a long-term goal. So your long-term goal at the minute is to lose body fat, build muscle, feel better, look better, be healthier. You know, and there might be emotional reasoning attached to that as well. So I want to be fitter and healthier now. So in 10 years' time, you know, I'm going to be in a good position to spend time with my family. I'm going to be able to do the things that I want to do, etc., etc. Now, a lot of the things, the behaviours that we actually do, like eating shit, drinking alcohol, poor sleep, playing on the computer, like whatever it may be, like watching porn, there's loads of different things that we do. Essentially, we're reaching out a lot of the time for happiness, we're reaching for dopamine, we're reaching out for pleasure, nice, easy, instantaneous pleasure, or we're reaching out as a way of reducing stress. You know, so you might reach for the biscuits, you might reach for the crisps, not only to increase pleasure, but to offset cortisol, to lower cortisol, to make yourself feel better. Self-soothing, you know, and again, that can cascade into lots of different things. So a lot of the behaviours that we have are sort of ingrained. They come in at an earlier stage before we're really conscious of what we're doing. So like, I'm stressed as fuck, I'm just going to eat a few biscuits. Your blood sugar rises, insulin rises, cortisol dips, you feel a little bit better. And then your brain's like, fucking hell, this is fantastic. And then your comfy eating becomes a thing. Or, you know, I'm really stressed out, just watch a little bit of porn, you know, crack one out, as you do. And then again, that becomes a way of self-soothing, of coping, and it works in the acute term. In the long term, it can become quite problematic because we gain body fat or we're spending time doing things that we shouldn't really be doing, that aren't complying with like the bigger goal, you know, our health, our wellness, you know, and we start gaining body fat, you know, we start losing connections with people that we love, and we feel shit about it, and that's where we are. So, what I'm trying to get at is a lot of the habits that are not serving you well now may have done in a very acute sense, in a short-term sense in the past, and your brain thinks, well, that's a good way of coping. Breaking these habits is not easy. If it was easy, look, we would all do it like that. You know, I've got a rational long-term goal of this. These are the behaviours I'm going to implement. Bang, off you go. But they always creep back in, don't they? The habits that don't necessarily serve us, they have a way of weaving back through and fucking us over. So how can you go about breaking these habits and establishing new ones? It's not easy, guys, is it? Now, what I think is really important, number one, is that you have a very, very clear goal. What do you want to achieve? Why do you want to achieve it? Now, okay, I want to lose weight, I want to lose body fat. Why? Try and attach an emotional reason onto that. So you might want to lose weight or body fat, like I say, because you want to be healthy, you know. And you might initially think, well, I'm not that bothered about that, I just want to look good naked. Okay, reframe that. In 10 years' time, if you take no action now, are you quite happy feeling fucked? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to be pre-diabetic in 10 years' time? Do you want to be struggling getting up the stairs? Well, of course I don't. You know, so there is an element in there that's attached to sort of like broader importance rather than just you looking good naked. Yeah. So if you can try and dig deep and associate what you're doing with something that's it's really broadly and intrinsically important, that can be quite beneficial. Now, so you've set your goal. You know, you've got a broad goal. You know, now you really need to dig into like, how am I going to get there? Not how am I going to get there, but how am I going to measure my progress towards getting there? Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You've set a goal, off you go. No, we need to get on the scales. We need to check your weight. We need your body fat. We need your blood pressure. We need those metrics so we can measure your progress. You know, and every time you measure that progress, every time you step on the scales, every time you check your blood pressure, every time you check your body fat, every time you take a picture and you see a change, it's a motivating factor. You're going to get a kick of dopamine. You're going to feel good. You're going to feel fantastic because what you're doing, the sacrifices that you're beginning to make, you're seeing a reward, you're seeing a payoff for it. So if you're not doing that, sticking to those sacrifices, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be really hard. And that is where people tend to fall down. They do not measure their progress and they don't reinforce these behaviours that they're trying to establish. And you do not want to fall into that pitfall because you're wasting your time. This is why goal setting is probably, I would argue, it's probably the most important thing that you can do, because it's making you objective and conscious and driven towards what you're trying to achieve. Okay, so we need to set a goal and then we need to measure our progress towards that goal. Now, again, fantastic. That's step one. Step two. Third step, you're going to compound that. Okay, so we're going to implement a reward strategy. What is a reward strategy? It's as it sounds, guys. So let's say you set a short-term goal of losing 1.5% body fat in, say, 3 weeks. So you set a short-term realistic goal. Okay, you've thought about the habits that you need to implement to get there. So you've said, my sleep is shit, so I'm going to improve my sleep. My diet is really disorganised, so I'm going to focus on my meal prep. Okay, so you've two things there. Usually we focus on one, but two. You've done that for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. You've been exercising, you've been walking more. You're feeling good. Okay, you step on the scales, you've lost weight, you check your body fat, you've lost body fat, your blood pressure's decreased because you're managing stress a little bit better. you're feeling good, you're like, fucking yes. Okay, next step, we reward those behaviours. So what we're doing, we're giving the brain a reward for the sacrifices that it's made. My personal favourite is a money jar. You drop a fiver in the money jar, or whatever you can afford, drop a few quid into the money jar. Clear money jar so you can see what's going in. Bang, there you go. So your brain is getting a reward process attached to the sacrifices that you're making. So let's just say, for argument's sake, you put a fiver away every time you achieve a short-term goal. So every month, let's say you set weekly goals and you manage to put a fiver away for every week. So that's £20 a month. Let's say over like 6 months, let's say you've got, I don't know, 60, 80 quid, something like that, in this money jar. Bang! You sit there, you look at it, you're fucking proud. You're proud because it's a symbol of what you've achieved and the sacrifices you made and the progress that you're making towards your goals. What you can do now, you can get your money jar, dip your hand in there, you can go out, you can buy some clothes. Again, what's that going to do? You're reinforcing the behaviours that you've been really working on. You're buying yourself some new clothes, you feel fantastic, you're out there, you've lost weight, bang, you're buzzing. You might want to go out, spend some time with the family, have a meal, bang, again, you're buzzing. What you're doing there, you're strengthening this, you're just strengthening the bond between these new behaviours and a positive reward, and it's easier to stick to them. And that's it, guys. So we really need to be zoning in on goal setting and measuring your progress towards those goals. So goal set, make sure you weigh yourself, checking body fat, checking blood pressure, taking progress pictures, and then thirdly, let's make sure that we've got some sort of reward strategy for you for when you achieve those goals, because let's face it, you deserve a pat on the back for the sacrifices that you're making towards a healthier, happier you. And that's it, guys. So I will attach a PDF with this. Hopefully you find that useful. As I say, it might seem like a very trivial thing, but it really isn't. It's probably, in my opinion, the most important thing that you can do. So over the next few weeks, I'm just going to continue sending out a few short videos, bit of information about like how the brain operates, the reward circuitry in the brain, the prefrontal cortex, and how stress and other things can inhibit that and make behavioural change difficult. So hopefully you're going to find this useful. If not, you can always chuck it in the fuck it bucket. You don't have to follow it. You might have strategies that work better for you. But me personally, it seems to tie in very well with evidence around prefrontal cortex and rational decision making that's going to make you achieving your goal a little bit easier. Okay guys, take care. Thanks for watching.